Riffing with Jezza. We'll be riffing with Jezza. I'm just going to do a quick one this morning because I've got a few things to do, but I thought I'd just share this because I seem to be sharing it with some friends of mine, and so I thought I'd share this as well. So a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a couple of episodes ago, I can't remember what, I talked about getting off social media and blah blah blah. And so this week I've kind of been doing this. I'm still on it a little bit, but maybe 20 minutes, half an hour a day, and definitely not in the morning. And it's actually been, and so I've only been doing this for basically 5 days, and it's actually been quite profound, like quite incredible. So in 5 days, I've just noticed that the fog has cleared in my head. So basically, since the COVID scandemic, I just started looking at a lot more social media, and there's different sides yelling at each other and blah blah blah. And this is one of the reasons why I started to do this, because I just realized there's all these different psyops, fake opposition, different kind of psychological games that's being played, on both sides of the argument. You're still kind of within the one room, and that one room hasn't been decided by you, it's been decided by these monopolies, and so I just thought, I'm sick of all this bullshit and all the fever of it too, like always angry and always blah blah blah. And so I'm not saying that everything on social media is manipulated, but huge amount is, and huge amount of what you see is. And so basically I thought, look, I'm just going to have a bit of a break. Another friend of mine had a break for a month, and I was just like, okay, well, I'll just have like 4.5 days. And I didn't even really have a break. All I did is I just minimized it. I diminished it way, way, way more. So it's quite interesting. And so basically what I found is, since COVID, I started, there's a wind blower, a leaf blower, it's good. Since COVID, I started looking at a lot more social media and started kind of in that world. And when you do it a lot, it sort of jangles in your head. And anyway, so I've just been really minimizing it this week. And it's quite incredible. Like, since COVID, I've had this low grade kind of despondency or confusion, or, it comes and goes, but there's just been this kind of fog around my head. And I think it's from social media, because for the first time in 5 years, I almost feel like the fog has lifted just by not tuning into this bullshit. So yeah, it's quite incredible. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with social media per se, or anything per se, but you have to see things like for what, like see the reality of what's going on. And yeah, so this has been a really interesting little thing. I mean, when I sort of the low grade despondency that happened since COVID, I thought, oh, maybe that's because I lost a lot of work, so maybe that's it. Or, during COVID, I was drinking too much. I didn't have a healthy lifestyle. So, I mean, obviously those things would contribute. But since then, like, I've gone through healthy patches or whatever, on and off. But anyway, it's just interesting. So that this has lifted so quickly, really, with not even a lot of effort. And anyway, it just goes to show, sort of, because I think what happens is when you watch that stuff, it imprints ideas onto your mind, and there's often emotion involved. And so if you have an idea and emotion, that's actually what hypnosis is. Wow, you should see all these monkeys, just hilarious. I don't know how to turn this thing around. Let's see if you can see them. Fuck, look at them all. Just hilarious, these little cheeky buggers. If I had food, they'd be swarming me. Okay. Just trying to get this right. Anyway, so yeah, so basically, I'm just trying to avoid all these monkeys distracting. Just hilarious. You should see them all. It's just so funny. Anyway, maybe I can get through here. Yeah, so anyway, it's just been quite a profound shift. And as I said, I didn't realize the effect it was having. You know, so just hang on a sec. Sometimes the monkeys get a bit aggressive. Well, not overly. It's never happened to me, but when there's too many of them, it's not a great idea to go too close. Anyway, it's just been interesting, this thing that's happened. And it's kind of made me think, wow, what else has been controlled by the external? You know, like where else have I given away my autonomy and my agency? And yeah, it's funny, I just sort of a kind of distractive kind of time waster, but I didn't realize the extent to which it was actually impacting my spiritual connection. So it's quite amazing. And this is not even fully going off. This is just a dampening down. And already I can see the massive difference. It's quite incredible. So, yeah. So the other day, I linked this into distraction. You know, so a lot of the time we use social media. So once or twice, like if I felt anxiety or I felt off or something, I would use social media to sort of suppress the feeling, get away from it. But I didn't do it that much, and so that's the difference. So anyway, it's quite incredible. I'm just blown away. So anyway, so I've got to make this practical. And so, you know, so this may be an experiment you might want to run. It's up to you. But it's just been, but the main thing is it's not about making anything wrong. It's just like understanding the effect of it. And also like, is this who you are? Is this giving away your agency? I think that's the thing that motivated me. I didn't want to have anyone else dictating my thoughts, like dictating my concepts. Because once you're into that, it's like, what is even the point of your life? There's no point in just having flesh if you don't have autonomy over it. So anyway, so I don't think we'll do a meditation today because I've done a lot of those and I don't even know if people like them or not. So maybe they do, but I'll leave it with a ponderance. And anyway, just experiment with this if you want to, but it's just a case of like being mindful of the effect of this, you know. So, you know, like, is this imprinting ideas on you? Because I mean, a lot of people when they speak, like it's almost like they're reading a script. And you see this, like, you may as well be turning on the news. And when I say the news, this could be any format, you know. So this could be formats dictated by a political persuasion, an ideological persuasion, a religious persuasion, or whatever. That none of those things are necessarily wrong, but it's basically about, is this what you feel in your soul? Are you picking out the bits that are correct or that feel right, that everything resonates to you, or are you just picking out, like, are you just going with the script that's been fed to you? I mean, when I was in America, I particularly noticed that if someone says their political persuasion, you can tell them, you can rattle off their beliefs the whole time easily, and it's so predictable, and it hardly ever, look at that thing go, and it hardly ever, I think I'm just going to let it do its thing, and it hardly ever wavers from that thing. Wow, this is weird. Like, it hardly ever wavers from that script. I think I'll just let you guys see whatever you want. This thing has got a mind of its own. Anyway, so it hardly ever wavers from that script. It's really quite incredible. So yeah, so again, so I've just got to think about how this would be useful. And so I think how I'd say is, like, whatever you believe, I mean, I've said this, how's it going? I've said this in previous podcasts, but whatever you think you believe is fine, but what are the origins of it? Like, I've had something come up this week where I've just noticed there's a cynical part of me. There's a cynical part of me. I can see it's ready to sabotage, you know, like, and we all have, and it's through beliefs. And so we all have sort of like beliefs. And I'm not saying you shouldn't believe what you believe, but like, just question, is this really true? And where is this really coming from? Especially if it's part of a broader narrative. Do you know what I mean? And so, because the only thing, because we're all going to die, the only thing that matters is that how you feel and what you do, this is true to you. So, anyway, so like, I wasn't going to do this today, but I just thought, but I told 3 or 4 friends about this in an excited way and none of them responded. Actually, one just did then, but yeah, like, I just felt like this was, I don't know, a bit of an awakening for me, because I have felt a little bit lost, just a little bit low grade lost since COVID. And so obviously I've been taking on stuff that's not even mine. Yeah, that's the end of my story. So have a good day. And so, oh yeah, so maybe something you could do is, yeah, just, what is it that I feel deeply? How does this make me actually feel? Like, so if you have a strong belief, is that strong belief kind of serving you, is what I'd say. Like, are you sure you know what you know? You know what I mean? And especially if something has a charge to it, like, I think if something has a charge to it, then you particularly want to question it. You know, like, particularly question things that have a charge with it. You know, because it's then creating an uncomfortable emotion as well. So, and it may not be true. And particularly if it is creating an uncomfortable emotion or a dark emotion or something like this, it might be bullshit. But at the very least, thinking about it, or when you're consuming stuff, how is this making me feel when I watch it? Like, you might strongly agree with it, but leaving that aside, how is this making me feel? Because it's the more emotion in a situation, the less objectivity you'll have. So the less clarity you'll have. Yeah, so that's kind of my parting words. Take this with what you will, and see you next time.
Riffing with Jezza. We'll be riffing with Jezza.